Hello everyone, and happy new 2021 from here in the UK. It's lockdown 3 here at the moment, and that's given me a little bit of extra time to talk about something I did during lockdown 2, which was back in, I think, October, November time. It's one of my very few videos on YouTube, so I'm very sorry if you've subscribed and there's not a lot happening, but hopefully this will change all that. I've just noticed that's the wrong way around. Let's fix that. So here's Mallard. And after I'd made Mallard, I jokingly said to a few people, right, the thing that I need to do now is to make the Dynamometer car to go along with it. So this is the specially adapted carriage that would track the speed and the power and so forth of the train, and captured its achievement of the world record for steam power. So we're quite fortunate where we live, just outside York, that the National Railway Museum in York has got the dynamometer car that LNER had behind Mallard on its world record breaking run. So off me and my little lad Thomas went to go and see it, took lots of photographs. I'm going to put some of those photographs in the video as well, so you can have a look at what the real thing looks like. And that, and a lot of research online, looking for images, some of the most useful of which were actually some of the 00 scale models of this dynamometer car. And we managed to find some of those which were really useful. But also the picture collection of the Science Museum, of which the National Railway Museum is part, and they own the dynamometer car, so they had some pictures online. So I made us a dynamometer car, and here it comes. There we go. So I'll just move in a little bit closer so we can just look at some of the things on it. So the first obvious thing is this white wheel here, which is, you might not be able to see in the video, hopefully you can. It does move because in the actual dynamometer car, that is the additional wheel that touches the rails, generates a current through a dynamo, and that's how they could track how fast the train was going. So that's there. I think what's very striking about the dynamometer car when you see it, in actual fact, is this kind of bay window effect that you've got here, that we've put on there. I'm just going to take the camera off so we can look closely at a few things. So I should say, like Mallard, I tried to make this 6 wide, and it also, like Mallard, it's more of a caricature of the dynamometer car than a scale model of one. There isn't the right number of windows, there isn't the right number of these little venty things on the top, but hopefully it gives the impression of what the real dynamometer car is like. It's got this interesting kind of extra bit of roof with these roof lights in that we put in. It's got these little sticky out sections for looking down the train, doors at the front and at the back. The real dynamometer car has actually got some doors around here, but again, you know, I was trying to keep this to a reasonable scale. So this is a 24 stud long train base plate that I've got it running on. I'll just show you how the wheel works, because I did at one point do all kinds of fancy things here with technic elements and thinking about how we could have a link between the train wheels here and this to get it to spin. But then I did something really quite simple. I thought, actually, I'm messing around a lot here when I don't need to. So all we've got is one of these round bricks here, the ones with the grooves on, and this is just resting down on the track using a technic arm. And that means that just it moving along will mean that will rotate as well. So I'll just show you underneath how that's working here. There we go. It's just on a little arm like that. Now, that's the outside of it. And one other thing to say about the outside of it is the roof is white here. The one in the National Railway Museum, the roof is brown. And I was a bit confused about that for a while, because when I was looking at the 00 models that are of this carriage, a lot of them had white roofs. A lot of them had the panelling with lining around them with the extra details on. And I think it's because at the time that Mallard was making its record breaking runs, it was the version with all the lining on it and with the white roof. And the version that's now been preserved, or the same dynamometer car that's in the National Railway Museum, has subsequently had its roof painted brown. So I've gone with white for now. I was talking about this with my little lad, and he quite prefers it brown, because we made some models in Bricklink Studio and did it with the brown roof and did it with a white roof. I'm not sure. I might get the bricks for it in a brown version and see how it looks. But anyway, we've got it white at the moment. So I'm going to pause a minute and turn around so that we can look at some of the interior. So I've turned the dynamometer car around now to look at the other side, because one of the most challenging bits about this was trying to recreate the interior, because as some of the photos I'll share will show, inside the dynamometer car is probably the trickiest bit. There's all kinds of gubbins going on there, a chart table and machinery and so on, dynamos, battery packs, amplifiers and so forth, that basically the mechanisms and the electronics for monitoring the speed. So what I've done is very similar to actually the carriages on the Hogwarts Express, was to make the roof come off and also the side come off, so you can see the detail that I've put inside. So and the reason I've turned it round is because the Hogwarts Express carriages all have the side lifting off on this side, so I've done the same here. So off comes the roof like that. And I said one thing to mention, we've got this kind of enormous black horn that sticks down, which is obviously some kind of loudspeaker or tannoy inside the train. So that's there, it's about the right place. And then if I take this off, we can see inside. So what we've got in the middle of the train, this is the chart table. So we've got simulating a kind of roll of paper between two big brass drums, and one of the pens going down and marking on the paper as you go along on the operator's seat. Then behind them we've got some kind of more dials and so on going on, and a big round wheel. And then this side, in front of the operator, we've got all this stuff sat on the shelves in front. And over here we've got a desk in the corner. I think what's quite striking when I found the pictures of it online is the floor of the dynamometer car is this really interesting mosaic. I wasn't going to be able to do that absolutely in Lego, but what I did do was use lots of 1x1 black and red tiles to give something like. Still missing a few tiles here. There's the Bricklink order in process to go and get those. And then at this end of the carriage you've just got some simple bench seats. I should say I think the seats in the original are a dark red, but the dark red on the red didn't like it so much, so I've gone with a nice dark green instead. There's one thing missing, and that's between here and the seating area. There is actually a small toilet on the actual dynamometer car. No room for that here, so I'm afraid anyone who's on the Lego dynamometer car, all the minifigs are going to have to cross the legs or go through to another part of the train. So I'll finish this video with a little bit of a recording of this going round behind Mallard, and hope you enjoy it. Cheers.